What is going on, guys? It's Dylan the Machete here, and yes, I just clapped while driving with no hands because I'm a fucking G. And I just wanted to jump on here and give you guys a bit of an update. So, you guys, if you follow me, you probably would have seen a post about how I was dealing with some mental health issues. I just want to give you guys a bit of an update on that. So, I posted a video just talking about some stuff that kind of happened in my life, and I kind of went into, I've been going through this, depression. I was diagnosed with psychosis, this type of stuff like that. And then I deleted the video, and I actually posted, so when I posted the video about, what a night at Strikeforce looks like, I had one person comment, and I had a few people message me being like, hey bro, I hope you're doing well with your mental health stuff that you posted about, and all that. And yeah, I just want to touch on a couple of things. So first of all, I really appreciate you guys reaching out. I really appreciate everyone out there who messaged me, who, wanted to check that I was okay. But I want to touch into the reason I deleted the video. So there are a couple of reasons. First of all, I just felt like I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it out there. I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it out there like, I'm struggling, this, that, and the other, because the video went off, it got nearly 1,000 views before I deleted it, within 20 or 48 hour time frame. But then I deleted the video because I was just like, okay, well, I don't really know if I want this out there, but I think it's better to put it out there because it shows people that I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. And myself, as a fighter, I was sponsored by one of the biggest gyms in the world, Bangtao, and it really is a lot of pressure that I kind of put on myself, being in that position, fighting consistently. I had 10 fights with the gym within a year. I was on a win streak. I was winning by knockout. I was beating some good names who are now fighting on the bigger Lumpini shows and stuff like that, but I was just fighting them in little stadiums. So I feel like I got what I needed from Thailand. I got the experience. I learned how to make my body strong, and all that stuff. But another thing I wanted to touch about when it comes to the mental health thing as a fighter is just we do identify ourselves as a fighter a lot. And in my position, when I couldn't fight anymore because my body was breaking down and it wasn't handling the training, because I always kind of labeled myself as I'm the hardest worker in the room. You will not outwork me. And then when my body wouldn't let me perform at that level, I started to hate myself. I started to put this label on myself and think that I was a failure because my body wasn't holding up to what I expected it to hold up to. And that kind of brings me back to remembering the art side of martial arts. So obviously as fighters, we are very extreme people. We want to push ourselves. We think more is better sometimes. But you got to remember your body and nervous system actually recover when you're resting, when you're out in nature, when you're eating good food, when you're just having that downtime to switch off. You can't be on all the time, which is something that I've learned. You need that time away from the sport to actually process things. You need that time away from the sport to, enjoy it. And when you're in Thailand, it's all you do. When you're in Thailand, you don't really have a life outside of it, which is great because you learn so much quicker, you absorb everything so much quicker. But I guess now I'm just learning to have a life, I'm learning that my life doesn't have to be fighting. Fighting should add to my life. It shouldn't be my whole life. And I feel like after everything that happened, I've actually been in touch with my higher self, and that higher self has brought me closer to God. And there are going to be people out there that say oh, God's not real, this, that, and the other. The stuff that I went through, I should have been dead. There were a lot of situations that I went through where I should have been dead that happened in my life. Whether it be from certain people I was hanging out with, certain substances I was taking, I should have been dead. But there was some reason for a greater purpose that I'm still here, and I'm very grateful that I've been able to take this step back and connect with those who have helped me. Back seeing my strength conditioning coach, Brett Mallett, using his services and his PMF, stuff like that has brought me back down to center. Forcing myself to take that time out in nature has been massive. Forcing myself to go out and do things other than fighting, you know, focusing a bit more on building relationships with my bosses, you know, coming back to center with my mate Josh. You know, Josh King, he's been my mate for fucking 6-7 years now. You know, coming back to him and his dad, you know, my coach Mr. C and Mark Pease, coming back to them, you know. And one thing as well is just like, it's been a wild ride, you know, it's been a wild ride. And I actually sat down with my coach Mr. C early May, and he actually said to me, he was just like, look, Mark is very happy with how your training is going at the moment. He says it's the best you've ever looked, you're moving well, your eyes are good, you know, you're absorbing it, you're actually listening, which has been something that I haven't done in the past sometimes, where I haven't listened to my coaches. I've just pushed myself hard and pushed myself hard. But he actually said to me, he says, Mark wants you to take the rest of the year off from fighting because he wants you to find more balance in life, whether that means, you know, getting a better job, whether that means anything like that. He said, Mark wants you to find balance because we know that you have the drive to be a world champion. We know that you have that drive in you. But the one thing you're missing is balance, which is something that I'm slowly starting to find now. You know, working for a new job, coaching more, enjoying the process a bit more, having a bit more control over my training, and coming back to the art side of martial arts, where I'm actually focusing on learning rather than being in the gym and not actually being in the gym. You know, like there are times where you go to the gym, you're there, but you're not fully there. And those sessions are okay because sometimes you do have to push, but sometimes when you're there, but you're not there for too long, you forget why you're doing it. You forget that you need to come back to the source. You come back to your breath when you're in those tough sparring rounds and those positions. Sometimes you're not thinking, you're just doing, which is great. You know, you want that actionary muscle memory, but when you're in those tough positions in a fight, you've got to be able to think under pressure. Same as in life, you know, if you are not able to think under pressure, I feel like that's where a lot of people go wrong. And you know, I'm getting better at a faster rate, I feel now, because I'm actually more in the art side of martial arts, if that makes sense. Yes, I'm still doing my strength conditioning. Yes, I'm still pushing my body, but I'm listening to myself and I'm listening to my body a bit more, and I'm focused more on the art. And that has definitely helped my mental health. I'm trying to embody everything that a martial artist is rather than just trying to be a fighter, because I've done this shit for fucking, you know, nearly 20 years. You know, I'm 22 years old, but I started martial arts when I was 3, you know, starting in karate, eventually going to Muay Thai, doing some jiu-jitsu, MMA, some boxing, this, that, and other. And I want to take this shit as far as I can, you know. But another reason I took that video down was because I had the need to say, like, you know, oh, watch me become one of the best fighters in Australia, which, yes, I truly believe that's what I'm going to do. But I feel like that just put more pressure on myself, you know? And I feel like, as I do believe manifestation is real, I feel like there's a lot of outside things that you can't control. And, you know, I can't control becoming the best fighter in Australia. I can control becoming the best version of myself, you know, whether that be making sure I'm on top of my recovery, making sure that I'm using my training journal, making sure that I'm, you know, resting when I need to rest, making sure that when I'm in the gym and I'm not there but not there, doing all these little things, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base on the whole mental health stuff, show you, or like at least just give you guys an update, because there were a few people that were a little bit concerned about me, and I just wanted to, yeah, touch base on that. So just giving you guys a bit of an update. I did take a fight on very short notice, so coming back to May, the early May, so I had that conversation where they were just like, oh, you know, they wanted me to take time off, have more balance, And then when I said to my coach, I was like, hey, like, there's this fight just come up on 2 weeks notice, like, what do you think of me taking it? My coach, Mr. C, said, I think that you're in the best place mentally you've been in a long time. And a long fight camp. So we had another date booked where we'll say like, okay, this is when you're going to return. They said, having this long date and this long build up could be too much pressure for you to handle because you put a lot of pressure on yourself. So taking this short notice fight, jumping in there against someone that is a strong opponent, I think it's just what you need. So, you know, I fucking retired from the sport earlier this year because I truly thought, like, I was like, I'm just going to be coach. Fuck this. Like, I don't like fighting. You know, I feel like I've done enough in this sport to where I can just become a coach if that's what I really want to. But I've truly, like, that last fight I had, I may have lost on points. It was a very close fight. A lot of people thought I won it. It's up on YouTube. I'll try the link down below if you want to see it. A lot of people thought I won that fight, and I'm very grateful that I was able to step in there and test myself after everything that I've kind of been through. You know, so yeah, I just want to touch base on that, guys. You know, we do have another date booked for my next fight. It's later in the year. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to be doing some vlogs. I'm going to be building up to that. And guys, please keep a lookout on the channel. And another thing I want to say is just like, it ain't weak to speak, guys. Like, if you are going through issues, please reach out to someone. You know, it's not easy. It's not hard. Like, even me, I still struggle with it sometimes. You know, like, people close to me want me to go see another psychologist. Like, I feel like I can handle what I'm handling right now at the moment well. There is definitely a lot that I've learned about myself where I'm kind of learning the tactics and the things that are getting me to where I need to be and who I need to be. And there's still a lot of resistance that I feel where it's just like, you know, people have said to me that it's like, bro, like, I see a mental health coach. And these are people that I thought, or at least you look up to, and they're just like, I've got all my shit together, you know? But no one has their shit together and no one's perfect. So that's another thing I want to touch on quickly is just like Instagram and fucking social media and all this shit like that. It's a great thing to be able to promote yourself. It's a great thing, but like, bro, not everything's as it seems on social media. Like, everything has its ups and downs. You know, there are gyms out there that look so amazing on social media, but there's a lot of politics involved. There's a lot of shit behind the scenes that you don't see. You know, and someone on social media can be having the best life, but in reality, they are sad, they're not fulfilled, and all this and the other. So, yeah, I just wanted to touch base on all this, guys. I really hope that you guys got some value out of this, whether it be about mental health, whether it be about not comparing yourself to others. And I just wanted to share a bit about my journey and where I'm at. So, guys, it ain't weak to speak. Please subscribe, follow, check out my social media down below. Hope you guys have an amazing day. I love you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep an eye out, boys. Let's go.